Hey everyone, we're going to be getting to AP Human Geography 2.5 to transition models. So let's begin with the demographic transition model. This model shows and explains growth and decline in population. It's in 5 stages and we're going to go from stage 1 to 5. So the first stage is stage 1. It has a high death rate and a high birth rate. Now you can see here on it that the graph that the death rate and birth rate are practically the same. This is going to cause population growth to not really happen. There may be a slight increase or there might be a decrease if the death rate is higher than the birth rate. But it's going to be pretty much steady throughout stage 1. Now please know that no country is in stage 1 anymore. Only small groups that take part in a country. So no full countries in stage 1. If you want to know a country in history that was in stage 1, think of the colonies before the Industrial Revolution. The American colonies. Think of Britain before the Industrial Revolution. Or a bunch of Europe, because Europe took part in that Industrial Revolution. So let's get into stage 2 now. In stage 2, it's called early expanding. The population is expanding. Birth rates are still high, but death rates are lower. Now that means people can have families. They won't have to worry about miscarriages because sanitation is becoming a big thing. So the birth rates are going to be high, and then the population is going to increase. This may be the biggest increase that a country will ever face is going to be in stage 2 of the DTM. And we're going to be forming a natural increase rate, which is the rate of increase in a country. Now let's get into stage 3, late expanding. Population is not going to be as high, it's going to be higher than it was in stage 2, but it's not going to be growing as fast as in stage 2. Stage 3, gender inequality is going to become less common, so there'll be more equality between the two genders. Some women are going to be getting into education. They may be moving to urban areas, or they may be getting jobs, so they won't be able to have time or afford to have families. And also, children aren't needed to take part of the family farm or help out for labor, so they don't need as big of families anymore. But less people are going to have children. However, death rate is still lowering because of advances in technology and science and medicine. So that's going to lower the death rate even more. Now let's get into stage 4. Some countries in stage 4, the United States and South Korea. You can kind of see what we're looking at for stage 4. So in stage 4, you can see the population is still kind of rising. It's starting to even out a little bit. As you can see here at the end of stage 4, the birth rate and the death rate are starting to even out a little bit. So the birth rate is starting to get really low, and the death rate is pretty much low. It's going to be around the same as it was in stage 3. But you can see the population is high, but it's not increasing or decreasing that much. And that gets us into stage 5, which is declining. Some countries that are in stage 5 of the DTM is Japan, Greece, Germany. They're going to see a natural decrease rate, which is where there's more deaths than births, which is going to cause a decline in population. When we get into population policies, we're going to see what the government is going to try to do to stop this, to try to get people to increase the population, because it's going to be negatively affecting the country, especially its economy, because there's not going to be people to fulfill the jobs that were there before. Now you can see here there's 5 stages of demographic transition model. Most countries are going to be in stage 2 of this model. A lot of countries in Africa are going to be stage 2. There's going to be a lot of countries in stage 3, particularly a bunch in South America. And then in stage 4 and 5, we're going to see a lot of European countries, maybe some Eastern Asia countries. China, some people will say it's in stage 4, some are going to be in stage 5. That's a debating topic. Some people also don't think stage 5 we haven't hit yet. So maybe stage 5 is going to be worse than what we know it is now. Maybe Germany is at late stage 4, and if they hit stage 5, they're going to see a drastic decrease in population. Maybe some people think there's a stage 6 with even more decline, where we really do see a lower birth rate and a higher death rate. When we get into the ETM, we're going to see what causes the increases and decreases in population, what creates our natural increase and decrease rate. Now, what caused these countries to get into stage 2? Well, stage 2 was the industrial and the medical revolution. So no countries in stage 1 anymore because of those two things. Now, the industrial revolution really affected Europe and North America. And the medical revolution affected a lot of Asia and South America, putting those countries at stage 2 of the demographic transition model. Both revolutions happened probably within 50 to 100 years apart. Now let's get into a multiple choice question practice. Which of the following is the reason no country is in stage 1 of the demographic transition model anymore? Is it going to be A, industrial revolution, B, decline in population, C, linear growth in population, D, medical revolution, E, both A and D, F, both A and C, or G, both C and D? Alright, the correct answer is E, both A and D. Industrial Revolution and the Medical Revolution, we just said this, is the reason no country is in stage 1 of the DTM anymore. It's caused population to growth and death rate to drop, and with that birth rate being high, that population is going to go high. Alright, ETM, Epidemiological Transition Model, Pestilence and Famine, that is stage 1. And you can see here there's only 4 stages of the ETM. But the ETM will coordinate with the demographic transition model. So stage 1 of the ETM is going to be stage 1 of the demographic transition model. You can kind of see here at the bottom of the table, it says stage of demographic transition, pre, early, late, post. Pre is going to be stage 1. Now, stage 4 of the ETM is going to be stages 4 and 5 on the demographic transition model. Sometimes you'll see on the epidemiological transition model 5 stages, and that'll be easy to coordinate with the DTM. But we're going to use 4 stages just for the sake of it. So, pestilence and famine. You can see here that death rates are going to be higher. There's going to be more famine, food famine. They're not going to have enough food. There's going to be pandemics, diseases within multiple countries. There's going to be a bunch of problems, and the death rate's high because they don't have medical advances. They don't have sanitation. Some people are going to die of hunger because there's just not enough food to go around. And then we're going to be getting into stage 2, receding pandemics. We're not going to see much pandemics anymore. Sanitation's becoming better. So that natural increase rate is going to basically just increase. There's going to be high birth rates and low death rates. And after stage 2 is stage 3, degenerative and man-made diseases. This is going to be stuff like obesity, heart attacks. People are going to be aging longer because the, life expectancy is going to start to rise. We're going to see that as well in stage 2, but we're going to really see that in stage 3. Since people are going to be eating more because they have access to more food, we'll see those increase in obesity because of, the steroids in food. And just people like, we can't grow our own food, and we're just go buy pizza because why not? It's easier, right? That's going to cause some degenerative diseases. So people are still going to die. People aren't going to live and just die of, natural causes, living longer. Now we get into stage 4, which is delayed degenerative diseases and emerging infections. Some people will consider emerging infections to be stage 5, but for the sake of it, this is stage 4. This is going to cause the accrued death rate and the accrued birth rate to kind of be the same. We're going to see some diseases, maybe a different type of a flu or cold to come into existence, and we will not be able to have a treatment for it. Like coronavirus. There are some coronaviruses we can treat, but COVID-19, we just haven't found a way to treat it yet. Some people say there's a vaccine, but there's going to be a bunch of side effects for it. So, I'm talking like diseases that we've conquered, like polio. That we may have a different form come back in the future of a polio disease. So that is going to be the ETM. You can see how it already matches with the DTM looking at the full graph. Alright, multiple choice question practice. Sanitation causing death rates to drop begins at what? Alright, multiple choice question practice. Sanitation causing death rates to drop begins to appear in what stage of the ETM? A, B, C, D, or E? The correct answer is E, receding pandemics. Sanitation, people are washing their hands more. They have hand sanitizer. They have basic medicine. Some doctors, maybe a little forms of surgery and dental hygiene products and just dentists, all the big sanitation stuff. That's going to cause death rates to drop because people aren't dying from the little things. They're not dying from gum disease. They're not dying giving birth. It's just causing death rates to drop. I can't make it more simple than all it was. Now I'm just going to end the video. There's a skill check in the description down below. I was too lazy to make a wrap up. So just do the skill check, please.